I'm Helen of Joy, and I have a story to share with you today. And if this had a title, I would say I have two titles for it. One would be Embrace Your Warrior Spirit. And that title is because I think it takes courage. It takes a warrior's courage, not going to battle, not a war cry, but a real courage to live from the inside out, and a real courage to go for our passions, to feel good. And especially when we look around us and there's a pandemic and we look around us and we go, oh my gosh, this country is divided, to live from the inside with a warrior spirit, following your passion. And so the next title, the other title, would be What Brings You Most Alive. And I think that's the title I'm going to go with, What Brings You Most Alive. And so I'm going to start my story now. So my story, once upon a time, on New Year's Eve, in the morning, after plugging in the Christmas tree that had been up a whole month and that I was looking at and going, you know, I still love you, Christmas tree, and eating the last of the Christmas cranberry bread, I loaded my skis, my cross-country skis, into my car. And I had not skied on these skate skis and these boots for 10 months. And I decided I'm going to take off. And on the last day of 2020, I'm going to go skiing. And so if you had have asked me that morning how I was feeling and how I was feeling about December 2020, I would have said, you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I embraced 2020 and I embraced December with an open heart. And I felt the weight of it in a good sort of way. I packed my packages up and I carried heavy packages to the post office, and I shoveled the driveway, and I trudged along on trails that were snowy, and I loved it. I saw eagles, a fox trotted toward me, and it scooted across the trail. I would have said, yeah. And I would have said, I found a way. My husband and I found a way to feel good and feel connected by text and FaceTime and email with kids and grandkids that were somewhere else. I would have said, yeah, we did it. And as I took off, that was my feeling. Keep the Christmas tree up, I thought. And I drove 25 minutes or so to the Easy Trail to ski. Because although I'm a good skier, I've been skiing for 35 years. I am a grandma, and I thought I was really out of shape. And I thought, I'm gonna go around the Easy Trail. And so I got there, and I took the skis out, and I walked over to the trail, and it hadn't been groomed. And there was 3 or 4 inches of snow on this trail, and some people had made tracks through it. Now, skate skiing, you don't stay in the little tracks. You fly. You fly with skating motions. And I looked at it, and I thought, you know, I don't want to trudge. I'm going somewhere else. I put the skis back in the car, and I called my husband, and I said, I am going to go up to the wild trail. I'm going to go up into the hills where I know it's groomed, but I know the hills are big. And I know it's not someplace I usually ski until far later into the season. And so that's what I did. I got in my car again and I drove up into those hills. I drove up by the river and by the wild forests. And as I was driving, it was a strange shift came over me on that last day of 2020. I thought, get that Christmas tree out. It's been up since Thanksgiving. I don't want it there anymore. And then I thought, clean out the clutter. And then I thought, in this shocking way, I'm done with it. I'm done with 2020. I opened the window, literally, of my car, and I envisioned I flung the year out. I flung the year out. And I didn't do it with denial. I didn't do it saying, like a lot of people are saying, this was a horrible year. This was a deep year. This was a year I grew and was challenged, and a year that my heart opened, and a year we all had a chance to pause. And I've taken those lessons in. And I liked the weight of it. I liked learning from it. It was like being in a cocoon. But on that trip up to the wild, I thought, I'm done. I am done with it. So I parked my car up at this little parking lot up at the wild trail, and I took my skis out, and I snapped my feet into those skis. And I want to tell you that skate skis on my feet feel like foot wings. And I got on those skis, and I started to go. And I went, oh my gosh, I am not an old grandma. I am a wild spirit, and this brings me alive. And I skied along, and I thought, I'm not out of shape. And I like the lightness of it. It's different than trudging. It feels good. It feels different. It feels right for the moment. And I skied down the hills and felt myself flying in the same place that the wolves and the coyotes run along. I felt as wild as they did. And then I got myself up those hills, and I felt my heart pumping in a way that's not pumped for 10 months since I last skied. And I went, I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. And I skied my way through 14 kilometers down the hill and down to the trailhead where my husband picked me up. Many hours later, not even that many hours later actually, because I skied with passion. And I felt something in me that felt new, propelled me forward. Even though I've been skiing for years, it felt new. It felt like I was leaving something behind and welcoming something new. And so that day, skiing was the thing that brought me most alive. And I have been skiing every day since. As we move, we propel ourselves into this new season, this new year. I feel a lightness, a difference in 2021. And I feel that passion. And so today, as I'm sharing this story with you, I'm asking myself what brings me alive. And I'm thinking, making soup. At home, I'm making my mother's recipe for carrot soup. And it's boiling on the stove. And what brings me alive is that I walked with a neighbor's husky this morning, and that brought me alive. And it's bringing me alive to go skiing this afternoon. And I don't know where this is carrying me. I don't know how this is going to help my writing. I don't know how this is going to open new possibilities for me this year. But I know when we follow our passion, when we really follow our passion, it leads us where we are supposed to go. And it leads us to a joy bubbling from the inside, no matter what is happening in the world around us. And we bring that passion into the world. And so I invite us all, as I end my story, I invite us to ask that question, not just once for this year, but many times a day. What brings you most alive? What brings you most alive today, in this moment, and honor it with a warrior spirit. And what I'm going to do after sharing this story is I am going to load those skis back in the car, and I'm going out to that trail, and I'm going to ski on foot wings, and I'm going to feel myself flying. And so until next time, be well, be kind, and ask yourself what brings you most alive.